Okay, real quick, here's a review of Aapl from Friday, July 7th. Uh, Based on my plan, I was looking for resistance at this 8 EMA, which happened to be 144.20 on the open. And as it came up to it, put in a first, at least implication that there were sellers up there at 144. This one failed, broke up higher. Significant amount of sellers did show up on the tape here, so I got some 144 puts and actually trailed me out at 41 cents. Now this is based on a 2-minute chart, so it doesn't make much sense here on the 5-minute time frame, but based on my rules and how I manage the trade once I'm in, that netted me about 10%, well 15% if you want to get all technical, but I'm not going to get excited over a 5-cent increase like some people. Overall, bulls did have control of the day today, so I will give you guys that. If you were bullish on the day, congratulations, you made some money. Overall, daily chart is still bearish in my opinion. We'll get to that in a moment. Later on in the day, once the bull flag did break up higher and seemed to start rolling over, got in some 145 puts up here, just below, or excuse me, just above 144.5. Once it did start to break below it, got in 145 puts at 40 and trailed them all the way out down here to 76. Now it didn't make any new lows on the day, or excuse me, intraday time frame, but overall you can see when the bears took over, they do seem to have much more of a trend action to them. So that does at least imply that bears are still in charge. Next trade I did take was the third and final one for the day. Put in a resistance here at 144.5, same level as the previous breakdown, and rode 145 puts again from 58 to 94. Another trade of about 80%. Again, there's ways to make money on both sides of the trade, but when you do trade with what the controlling parties are, the controlling participants of the trade, in this case it seems to be the bears, you're actually going to make a lot more money than just stacking 10%. Now, with that in mind, go to the live chart here, look at some levels that I am checking out for Monday. For the 30-minute time frame here, I already got my notes on the chart. I will be looking at a couple of significant levels here. First of all, here at 144.10, this is actually where price closed right around this level, which happens to be the 8-period exponential moving average. If it does happen to fall back below there, that will be a very bearish implication. Excuse me. Let me go ahead and get one of these lines off here. I think I had that on there for the wrong reason. But anyways, this previous high of the previous green day held as resistance fairly well. So I'm going to draw a little bit of a range here that did set up on the end of the day, which does coincide with that high and the 8 EMA roughly. So anywhere inside of here, I will actually be looking for a bit of a resistance zone, not necessarily resistance entry, but I'm going to put a resistance zone here. And I will be looking for a bearish type of setup, inverted hammer candle, strong red candle, a significant amount of sellers that are obvious in this region here. And I will have a stop loss actually just above this area. This line I'm not going to use anymore. The next line up here is going to be 145.65, 145.70ish, which kind of coincides with this line up here. Just drag it down a little bit. That's going to be the 21 period exponential moving average on the daily time frame. Go ahead and draw a line in there. Going to be right in that region there. That's if it does break outside this zone right here. So I'm only going to have these two actual resistance type of plays here. Any move down below there, I will be looking for a short below 142.20 for an overall breakdown and continuation of not only this bear flag pattern that is setting up, but also the overall head and shoulders pattern. It could potentially come down and test 140, which is looking very likely. The moves up are, they don't have much conviction to them. There's a lack of volume. Doesn't really imply that there's a significant amount of bulls in the trade yet. Now that could change. In all fairness, if it does start to look actually bullish, I'll have no problem going ahead and looking at calls or going long on some stock. But as of right now, it's still below all significant moving averages. 8 EMA is below the 21, 21 is below the 50. The only bullish sign on the chart here is everything is above the 200 period moving average. So could go sideways, at which point my plans are still going to work as I am picking my spots very closely, and we'll see what happens as time goes forward. Above here, I'm still going to be looking at this 147.5, which I don't imagine price coming up there too fast or anytime in the near future. However, if it does, I will still look at that as a resistance because that is the top of this range here. Now that will be my trade plan going forward for Monday. Go ahead and do your own analysis. Good luck.